Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Kickoff Glitch Podcast. This is the beautiful Aiden has showed up yet again. Good to hear.
Hello. Yeah, thankfully. No.
No, so today we're doing controversial questions, just anything football related. So random as doesn't have to be specifically about Prem or anything. Just controversial football questions. So let's get into it. Do you want to go with the first question, Aiden?
Yeah, mate. The first question I want to ask you is, obviously you're an Arsenal fan. And I know one of your ambitions this season, and something you did say, is that you think Arsenal are going to win both the Champions League and the Premier League. Now, my question to you, would you rather Arsenal win the Champions League or the Premier League this season if you could only choose one?
Mate, I would rather Arsenal win the Premier League.
Really?
Honestly, because the Champions League's, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather Arsenal win the Premier League because it's their domestic league, you know, and we haven't won in 20 years. I know we never won the Champions League either, but just feel like winning the Premier League would silence a lot of the haters also. Because we can always win the Champions League, you know, next year. But I feel like if we don't win the Premier League this year, considering on the roll we've been last few weeks, like we're on a pretty good roll, besides this morning when we lost Aston Villa.
And Sunderland,
Well, like everyone was saying like a month ago, man, it's Arsenal to lose now, and I was kind of agreeing with them. But I'd rather win the Premier League for sure because we haven't won in 21 seasons, about 20 seasons.
Yeah.
And there's always the Champions League next year, you know.
Yeah,
but
true.
I'd rather get the job done with the Prem, and then all the haters can be quiet for a bit. And then
true.
Next season, go win the Champions League, and then
we'll see. Well, mate, personally, in my opinion, City are only 2 points behind you now, so this could be an even more generational bottle than some of your previous ones.
That's the thing, mate. Everyone keeps saying, I know I just said 30 seconds ago, it was pretty much ours to lose, but did we really have it in our both hands at one point?
Did you have an 8-point lead at one point?
Yeah, that was a few weeks ago,
Yeah, and every bad team, every time you guys would slip up, they would slip up too. So it's kind of one of those ones where, Arsenal have to win this. But now it's it's getting a bit close.
That's the thing, when we're in that 8-point lead, everyone was looking at Liverpool dropping points. But now, Liverpool, they're gone.
Yeah, true.
But now it's all about Man City, Aston Villa are giving it a go.
Yeah.
A month ago, no one thought Aston Villa would have been in the title race.
Yeah, crazy.
It just proves how quick things can change.
That's the thing. Yeah, they didn't score in their first 5 league games, and they're still only 3 points behind.
Yeah, it's insane.
They're
doing really well.
Yeah.
But I'm still confident Arsenal will win the Prem because we haven't got Saliba or Gabriel at the moment, so that's a loss. But overall, mate, I would rather Arsenal win the Premier League for
Fair
sure.
enough. Yeah, sweet. All right, do you want to give a question?
Yeah, my question, mate, for you. Who is the best Barcelona player, excluding Lionel Messi, in history?
Ooh. In history?
Yeah.
Okay, this is an interesting one. There's a few names that come to mind straight away.
But let me guess for you.
Yeah.
Iniesta?
Yeah.
Suarez?
I wouldn't put Suarez there.
Oh, really?
Not as the best of all time.
Iniesta, Xavi?
Yeah. I'd say...
I don't know are you thinking Maradona?
See, what do you classify as the best Barcelona player? Do you mean
I'll narrow that down. They actually did something for Barca.
Did something for Barcelona.
Yeah,
okay,
Maradona was at Napoli and made a lot of his career. Yeah, so I guess you wouldn't really include Maradona, but actually was influential at Barcelona.
Yeah, I'd probably have to go. Well, there's 3 names I'm thinking of the same era as Messi in terms of that was Barcelona's most successful period. I'm thinking Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets. Probably put them 3 there. But the one name that actually did come to my mind earlier on is Johan Cruyff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say Cruyff. And I think the reason why is I think he changed Barcelona back when he played. I think it was the 70s when he was over there. I feel like he changed the club and brought the club to be a bit better, a step up to what it was. And also looking at what he did as a manager as well, I think he was he basically invented modern football.
And he was, when he was playing, he was the world's best.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and I think if it wasn't for Cruyff, there wouldn't have been a Pep, and there wouldn't be the way football is right now. All starts from Johan Cruyff. Even Pep himself has said that everything he learnt as a manager, a lot of it came from what Cruyff sort of had as his philosophy, tiki taka and that sort of stuff, fluid football. That came from Cruyff.
Yeah,
total football.
Not gonna lie, I thought you would have said Iniesta, because I was thinking Iniesta.
Yeah, I think it's definitely him and Xavi will definitely be up there as well. I think, you can't look at what they've done, 4 Champions Leagues, probably like 15 league titles. I don't know the exact number, but it'd be crazy. And yeah, it'd definitely be between. I'd say that the top two would be Iniesta and Cruyff. I'd say, but I'd probably go Cruyff just in terms of like I think the difference with Cruyff and like the players like Iniesta and Xavi is I think Cruyff also did it as a manager too, so he had an impact both as a player and a manager. And I think if you were to ask Barcelona fans, like who live in Barcelona, for example, who one of the biggest legends for Barcelona ever is, I think a lot of them would say Cruyff as like one of their first
even
names.
coached at Barca, didn't he? Also,
Yeah, probably go for that. But
what about Ronald Koeman?
see, like, he was a great player. He did a lot for Barcelona, but I think his manager stint has kind of...
Yeah, because you weren't a fan of him as a manager,
No,
right? Because that was
no
when
one
you guys
really
were
was.
a rough period and
Yeah.
you guys were playing
Exactly.
goalkeepers at strikers.
Yeah, like I do appreciate him for joining at a time that was rough, and he did do a lot. He uncovered a lot of like young players.
Was he
which is
there
good.
when Aubameyang went there? Was he the coach?
Sorry about
Or
that.
was that Xavi?
Yeah, I think it was when Aubameyang was there. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah, right.
bro.
Nah.
That whole like 4-year period, just in my mind, it's all merged together. It's just a one shit show.
Oh, I just
mate.
remember
Like, it's
some
so
of the
bad.
players that was there. Braithwaite.
Yeah,
Remember when you had Dest, the right
yeah,
back?
Des. Yeah, he played right wing a couple of times as well. Oh, he was cool.
Yeah,
but
bloody hell. There was some random Pjanic.
yeah, God,
Bloody-
that was a horrible transfer, bro. Just like
I remember I used to love Pjanic. That's
Yeah,
why
that's
I
why
used to go for Roma.
yeah,
Because Pjanic was such a beast.
yeah, bro. Like some of the
But
lineups
where
we
is he
had.
now? He's like, I think he's
Oh,
playing
I
like
don't know,
Bosnia or something. Like,
Yeah,
fucking
that was such a
wash.
weird transfer because we got him from Juve and we had Arthur Melo, who was actually
Yeah, I
really good
remember
for
him,
Barcelona.
yeah.
Like he was a great player and he was like 10 years younger than Pjanic. And then what happened was we sold him to Juve for 60 mil, and then we bought Pjanic from Juve for 60 mil. Sorry, wait, no. Let me clarify. We sold Arthur to Juve for 60 mil and bought Pjanic for 50 mil.
Yeah.
And the only reason we did that is because we were so financially broke that we wanted that 10 mil turnover.
Yeah.
So we made a deal with Juve to get an extra 10 mil just from doing that transfer. That's the only reason we got rid of a promising player for Pjanic who just wasn't.
Well, to be fair, at the time, Pjanic was one of the better midfielders in Europe.
Yeah, he was
was,
good,
yeah.
but he was also like in his like early 30s, so it was a bit of an interesting transfer. But well.
Interesting.
All right, moving on to the next question. Cool, this is gonna be an interesting one, all right? So that previous question to you was, would you rather win the Champions League or the Premier League? My question to you now is, if Arteta wins both the Premier League and the Champions League this season, would you rather him over Wenger?
Oh, that's a shout, eh?
Because obviously Wenger never won the Champions League with Arsenal. So
Came very close though in the final against that mighty Barcelona.
yeah,
I feel like it's still. I don't know, Wenger was there for years and years. I'd probably go Arsene Wenger to be fair. Like you can't really disrespect him.
yeah,
Like because Arteta wins, he's won one trophy with Arsenal so far, the FA Cup. Like Wenger won heaps.
Yeah.
I'd definitely still go Wenger because Wenger created Arsenal Football Club. You could say, mate. So I'd go Arsene Wenger. Even though Arteta, I feel like he's on his way to be one of the top managers in the world. But I'd go Arsene Wenger. You just gotta give him the credit, mate.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I agree. I was hoping you'd say Wenger as well. So.
Inch Postecoglou, mate. But Arsene Wenger for sure.
Yeah, I still remember when I was a kid, I used to think Arsenal was named after
Bro,
Arsene Wenger.
I thought that too, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Here we go. Kind of relating to a manager question.
Yeah.
Who is the greatest manager of all time? Pep or Alex Ferguson? Or if you got an outsider?
Wow, so I was actually going to have this question as well. So that's pretty interesting.
There you go.
Yeah. In my personal opinion, I think it's Pep Guardiola.
Look, I disagree. I
think
say
it's
Alex
Alex?
Ferguson.
Yeah. Look,
But,
it's
mate,
hard.
Is it because is there any biasing in that?
Obviously, there's a bit of bias being
Yeah.
a Barcelona thing, but I think like even looking aside from Barcelona, I mean, you can't look aside from it because I don't know. I just think that arguably the greatest football team of all time was Pep's
Like
Barcelona.
the 2010 Barcelona.
Yeah, that whole the whole
I'd agree
4-year
with that.
period.
Yeah.
And then you look at what he's done in other clubs. Bayern Munich obviously didn't win the Champions League, but he went there, was dominant in the Bundesliga. You know, he competed, he played well. And then his Man City stint, I think you can't overlook that. 5 Prems in 6 years, the first ever Champions League. Sorry.
I was gonna say the thing with Pep though, he's admitted like the money's helped him. Like Alex Ferguson never really had all that money.
Yeah, true.
He brought so many young kids up through the ranks, like Beckham, Scholes, Gary Neville.
Yeah.
He didn't go out and buy players like bloody Haaland.
Yeah,
and all
well, he
that.
did in the later years when he
Yeah.
became more, but obviously he
but
earned that.
Ronaldo, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. Like, I do understand the argument, and you can't look at what he did, like with Aberdeen, for example, and like the longevity of Sir Alex Ferguson too. Like, obviously, I think in my opinion, they're both top two. If someone was to tell me they think Alex Ferguson is Sir Alex Ferguson, sorry, do not disrespect him, is the best manager of all time, I won't disagree. Like, I can hear it. But the thing for me with Pep is, I know a lot of people say that he obviously has always had the money. Even he's admitted that himself. But I think like
We cannot replace him.
Yeah. Like, can you really blame him? Like, he's never had the opportunity to not have the money, so we don't know what it's like.
It's just
for
the world
him to...
game now, isn't it? There's
Yeah.
always money involved.
Exactly, and also like people fail to realize too that his Barcelona job was his first job, right? He was the assistant manager at the youth team for Barcelona.
Yeah, right.
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did so well. Like, he actually brought them up, and he ended up making them like one of the best youth teams in the world at the time. And because they were struggling before he joined. And like, think about like in real life now. Imagine a football club like all of a sudden promoted their youth manager to be youth assistant manager to be the manager for their first team.
Oh, so he wasn't even the head of the youth team.
He wasn't. Yeah, he was the assistant of the youth team, and they took a gamble. The club said this guy looks amazing,
and it worked out.
Yeah, and we're gonna make him our manager. Like, imagine like the confidence and the
100%.
balls to make a youth assistant manager.
Yeah, so they obviously had a lot of faith in him.
Yeah, and it just goes to show like how good he was as a manager from the get go. And like, I don't know, I just think that a lot of people overlook the fact that like he had to break that barrier to become the first team manager of Barcelona, and from there hit the ground running and did well. And I just think that his Man City stint for me is what makes him the greatest in terms of like the greatest. I would give you the greatest league in the world, and you look at what he's done. And I think that if he was to stay for as long as Sir Alex Ferguson at United, if he was to stay that same period at City, I think he'd end up with more Premier League trophies and more accolades overall. That's just my opinion. But I do hear the Sir Alex Ferguson though.
Yeah, I just feel like Alex Ferguson is like the best manager of the Prem of all time. And like the Prem's the biggest league in the world.
Yeah.
But right now, like Pep is definitely the best current manager.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But then is there like who would you say that could come in? So you say those top two for sure.
Yeah, I'd say those
what
are
about
top two.
a third spot?
Third spot.
Like
ooh.
there's a few names you could like Ancelotti, Jose Mourinho, Wenger, Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, I'd probably go Jose Mourinho, I reckon. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. Like, I know Mourinho was one of a kind, but I just think a bit like Ancelotti's like definitely a shout.
Yeah, he's definitely a shout. Yeah.
Wenger, he is one of a kind also.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I know a lot of Liverpool fans don't like this, but I feel like Klopp is definitely at the bottom of those managers.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I just
definitely.
lined off. But people have like compared Pep and Klopp. So I strongly disagree.
No, I disagree with that as well.
Because Klopp did it right at Dortmund. Yeah. And at Liverpool,
he did good at Dortmund. Like, he did pretty well. Got him Champions League final.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But at Liverpool, he won a fair, like, wouldn't say a fair few. Like, he won a decent amount of trophies over his. He was there for so long.
Yeah.
I know he's competing against a great Man City era.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
but
yeah,
I don't know. He could have won more trophies, and he lost a couple.
Yeah, I do think like Klopp was someone who was just there at a bad time in terms of like if Pep Guardiola wasn't there, he probably would have ended up having like 4 Premier Leagues. And like Real Madrid as well, he could have had 3 Champions Leagues, 2 Champions League finals. Like, it's unfortunate for Klopp. I do think he is like in that conversation, but yeah, I agree. He's like at the bottom because at the end of the day, trophies are what matters, and the fact that he only won 1 Premier League and those sort of things, it's out of his control, but it's still a factor. Yeah. And I think for me, the reason I put Jose Mourinho up there is I think just looking at what he did with like Porto and Inter, like 2 teams that weren't necessarily like I know Inter was like massive at the time, but like they weren't the world heavyweights like spending a lot of money at the time. I think. That was like really impressive.
What like gives me a bit of the ick for Jose Mourinho is that the last 10 years he's been around everywhere and he's never really held a job.
Yeah,
like,
true. It's just like
he's just so bloody recycled now.
Yeah, that's the Jose heritage, I guess. Like, and that's the thing. I feel like it's hard to because so many different types of managers. Even with the debate between Sir Alex Ferguson and Pep, they're both completely different. Like. For example, like Sir Alex Ferguson, he never really actually got involved in like the tactics and stuff as much as Pep did. He was more of like a man manager. He would manage the players, the attitude, all that sort of stuff, and he was really hard on them. Yeah,
he was.
And then like he had people, to help him with like actual tactics and stuff like that. Like apparently he wasn't always in the training ground. Yeah. But he was like by far the best man manager of all time. But I just look at Pep, he's the complete opposite in terms of like
tactical awareness.
Yeah, and he's there like every day, just like actually making the tactics.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that makes Pep better because I think there's a skill to both of them.
Yeah,
like no one will
100%,
ever be as good of a man manager as Sir Alex Ferguson was. So
Nah, but
yeah,
no, that's a fair call, mate.
yeah, interesting. All right, moving on to my next question, which kind of relates to the topic we just spoke about, which is pretty funny in the context of it. But the question I want to ask you is, do you think the Premier League is overrated?
Like what with the quality of players?
Yeah, as in, do you think that, or actually, I'll rephrase it. I'm going to say, I think the Premier League is a bit overrated in terms of, I think that there's other leagues that have the same quality as the Premier League, but they aren't respected as much. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's overrated. I think it's like perfectly rated, but I do understand where you're coming from. There is quality and like people just say in Spain it's Barcelona and Real Madrid, but there's so many like good teams like Atletico, Real Betis, Athletic Bilbao. They could all be in. You could arguably fight for a top 6 spot in the Prem.
Yeah,
and then like with France, there's also obviously just PSG. Like that's a big gap between the other teams, PSG, and then everyone's just below them, and then Bayern and in Germany. But I feel like the Premier League's just perfectly rated.
Okay,
but I know what you're saying. There is quality in other leagues, and people probably don't appreciate that because they just say it's Farmers League.
Yeah,
you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but but like I wouldn't say when people say La Liga's Farmers League, I disagree. I don't think it's a Farmers League. Like it might be in the last 20 years there might be only 3 teams that have won it.
Yeah.
Oh, has anyone actually ever won it in the last 20 years?
I think, well, when's 20 years? 2020, 2025, damn. I know early 2000s, I think Valencia won, maybe Deportivo.
Yeah, like.
Not too sure, but that was like, I don't know if actually in the last 20 years,
But, but there's always that, like, remember a couple of seasons ago when Girona?
Yeah, they did really well.
They were in the title race?
Yeah.
But, people forget about those things.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I agree, like, I don't agree that, like, I think it's a bit overrated. I think in terms of, like, the way that a lot of people put the Prem on a pedestal in terms of like a play being good. Like for example, let's say there's a really good player having an amazing season in the Bundesliga, in Serie A, in La Liga. People will kind of be like, oh, but it's just like an average league, doesn't matter too much. Whereas like someone will be having a decent season in the Premier League, and because they're in the Premier League, I feel like people will automatically be like, this player is better than that player because they were playing in the Premier League. And I think it's overrated in that sense of like, I think a lot of Premier League players get seen as better quality and at a higher regard because they're in the Premier League.
I feel like that's just the history though that's made out the Premier League because like England is probably definitely one of the biggest footballing nations in the world.
Yeah, in terms of like media as well, like that definitely contributes.
And that's like England is just all about football.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I guess over the history, I feel like someone that's made that be in that case is Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, true.
Like Manchester United are definitely probably one of the biggest clubs in the world, and they're obviously from England. So
that's a good point. Yeah, and I think like another thing that kind of annoys me too is when you look at people use the argument for some players saying, "Oh, but they wouldn't cut it in the Premier League." I hate when people say that. It really annoys me because I've
heard that before.
Yeah, because people think that you need to be like tough and technical. Like people used to always make the argument with Messi back in the day, where it's like, "Oh, but Messi hasn't played in the Premier League. He can't be like the best player of all time because he hasn't faced, the physicality of the Premier League." I just think it's stupid.
Nah, well, that's the thing. Like, people obviously know what we think about Messi.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Messi I feel like he would do perfectly fine in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But, I think it's perfectly rated.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Actually, just another thing before we move on to that. Like, one thing that really triggered me at the start of the season, that, like, really got under my skin, was I remember Max Baumann, how do you say his name? He played a few minutes. Yeah. I still remember, like, obviously he broke through, played, like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something, looked all right. I remember I watched a YouTube channel. It was, like, one of those, like, I think it was a CBS or like one of those, like, media, like, reporting things, and they had, like, their YouTube channel posted a video talking about, like, top 10 wonder kids in the world. And I saw another YouTube channel, a podcast that I watch. I won't say who they are, but they also did the same, like, sort of concept. And I saw people putting Max Baumann in, like, their top 5 wonder kids in the world. And I'm like, bro, he's played like 20 minutes just because he plays in the Premier League. If he had 20 minutes for Bayern Munich or 20 minutes for Barcelona, no one would say anything. Just because
that's a shout.
Looks like an exciting young English prospect. They just like instantly put him over. Like Yildiz, for example, that guy from.
I feel like From Juventus, yeah.
Yeah, like people were putting like Doman over him, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, I disagree,
Yildiz has literally been
starting for one of the biggest teams
Yeah.
in Italy.
exactly like
But,
things like
I
that
feel
just
like
really trigger me.
what helps. I'm not saying that Doman is one of the best wonder kids, but because he's English, I feel like that helps
Yeah,
him.
definitely. Yeah,
But if it was some bloody guy playing for Arsenal and he was from like Kenya,
actually, true.
you probably
really care
wouldn't.
too much.
Probably wouldn't. No offense to the Kenyans, but
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't hear it as much.
Yeah, true.
But because he's English, playing one of the biggest clubs in England, like it just helps him.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. But yeah, even just like, sorry to keep harping on this point, but another one that really annoyed me was I looked at people do top 10 like centre backs in the world, and I saw so many different, like I watch all these podcasts doing this stuff, right? So many people put Huijsen, like the Real Madrid centre back, over Kubasi, for example.
Yeah, nah.
And I was like, he played one season at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
He was amazing, right? But you're looking at Kubasi, who's starting for 2 years in a row for Barcelona in the Champions League, like one of the best, in my opinion, best centre backs in the world. And just because Huijsen had one season in the Premier League that was good, all of a sudden people put him on a pedestal over some other players.
I do say Kubasi is better, but it just goes back because the Prem's the most watched league
Exactly,
in the world.
So that does make
everyone's
sense,
like,
but
half the people are like, who's Kubasi? So that's why
true.
I'm just going to go Huijsen.
Yeah,
that's probably why.
Yeah, sorry, I just like that. Something that always gets to me,
Yeah.
like the whole Premier League bias, because like I do get it. The Premier League is the best league in the world in that sort of sense. But yeah, it's just something that kind of gets to me a bit. But, yeah,
Nah, fair. Who is better, mate? Gareth Bale or Mohamed Salah?
bro.
You bullshit.
literally-
You got that question?
No, I was literally about to put that question, but I changed my players to two other players because I had a feeling you'd ask that question.
Great minds think alike, eh?
Yeah, see, this is really hard because I've never been the biggest Salah fan
Really?
over time. I think last season I changed my mind a lot about his legacy and him as a player. See, because what do you define as like better?
Like,
This is the issue that I was having for my question as well that I was going to ask you.
like who would you... Fuck.
It's really hard, eh?
Well, I don't know, just overall, like if you're a manager, you could choose one player to take on your right wing. Like who are you going to take? Who's the overall better player?
This is so hard. I really don't. I would.
So I guess you're not really thinking about like trophies because obviously Bale
Yeah.
has more trophies than Salah, but
Yeah.
you know, just put out all the bloody attributes that you need for a football player, like
Yeah.
finishing, passing, dribbling, pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I prefer Bale. Bale is my kind of player in terms of like I like him a lot more than Salah. The way he plays football, what he can do, and I think that Bale at his prime is better than Salah at Salah's prime. Salah's prime is very high, but I think I can't overlook what Salah's done.
Mate, it goes back to that Salah's done it in the Prem. Like people always go to
true,
that
they say
argument,
that.
but
Yeah, I'd go Bale personally. It's really hard because I think Salah is underrated as a footballer, and I think that.
fuck.
I don't know. What do you think?
Honestly, I think I lean towards Salah more.
Yeah.
Mate, don't get me wrong, Bale is one of the best wingers probably of all time in the last 20 years. But I feel like he's, I don't know, I'm going to say it, I feel like he's a bit overrated.
Really?
People have gone that Bale is like one of the best, like, well, what's like, players from the UK ever. Like,
Yeah, I think that best British player of all time.
I disagree. With that,
I think that's a decent shout.
because you're forgetting there's players like, I'd take Wayne Rooney over Bale.
Yeah.
And then you got Stevie G, I'd probably take as a player over Bale.
Interesting.
I know they're obviously different positions, but
Yeah.
yeah, Bale at Tottenham was a good player, one of
Yeah.
their better players, and at Real Madrid he was on fire. But look towards the end of his career,
Yeah, true. That's the thing. It's like,
fucking was barely even playing for Real Madrid.
yeah.
And Salah is what you would say the back end of his career, and he's still starting for Liverpool.
Yeah,
and Salah's
true,
been
exactly.
scoring goals for fun for so many years now.
Yeah.
But maybe it doesn't help Bale also that he had two great scorers he was fighting against,
Yeah,
Ronaldo
exactly.
and Benzema.
True. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it is. I do hear what you're saying. Like, I think Salah's had, like, he's a better, more effective player in that sense. Like, he can score you 35 goals in a season.
Yeah.
Like, Bale could do that maybe once or twice. I feel like Salah is consistent. And, like, I don't know. I'd probably, this is really hard. I reckon this is one of the best questions I've had to think about in terms of, like, I really don't know. Because I prefer Bale in terms of, like, I don't think Salah is necessarily as good at football as Bale in terms of like I don't think he's as skillful. And something with Salah that I've always criticised him is he can go the whole 89 minutes without doing anything, and then he'll score a goal, and it covers up sort of how he's played. But at the end of the day, that's kind of all you want from it. Like if you're trying to win games, it doesn't matter what you do. It's about you score the goals, get the assists.
If someone was more likely to score a goal in a game, it would be Salah.
Exactly.
100%,
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go with Bale just because I prefer the way Bale plays, and I think.
Don't get me wrong. Some of the goals that Bale has scored are like one in a million. But I feel like Salah is he's just been one of the best players in the Prem
he has
for the last,
this is so hard.
10 seasons nearly.
You know what? I think Salah is the right answer, but I'm gonna go with Bale just because I prefer Bale. But I do think Salah is like I can hear people saying Salah would be the choice.
That's fair.
But moving on to my question, which is a similar question. Who is better, Mbappe or Neymar? I know you love Mbappe. I know you think he's...
Bro, I got a question coming up soon about Mbappe. Bro, do you know he's like the highest goal scorer this calendar year?
Yeah.
Yeah, and mate, I remember you were saying, Real Madrid is shit, but mate, you must be doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, let's have this conversation. He's scoring a lot of goals, but I don't think...
Bro, did you see his goals early, like a few days ago?
Yeah.
Fucking cracker.
They were pretty good. Yeah. I think that, like, this is my problem with Mbappe. He scores a lot of goals, and he's individually always good, but I think he makes the team worse in that sense. It's a whole thing to talk about, but we'll talk about it another day. I thought this is a discussion we can have, but
I've told you in the past, mate, if Mbappe continues the way he did, he would be better than Neymar, but... I just love Neymar. He's so good.
Yeah.
But right now, I'd say it's a better career football player.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, what would you say for both? If you were to give an argument for both of them,
But at the moment, I'd say probably better career. I'd probably go towards Mbappe because he's won a World Cup.
Yeah,
he's
true.
Won a fair few trophies, and they both played with each other at PSG, so they helped each other out there. But football player, I'd probably go Neymar.
Yeah.
Because Neymar's just insane. But I'm going to continue with what I said many years ago, mate.
Yeah.
If Mbappe keeps playing the way he is, because he's one of the top dogs in the world right now. If he's like that for another, we'll say, we'll go towards his late 30s, 35.
Yeah.
No,
still another 8 years or so.
So he's still got a fair few many seasons in him. In him. But I'd definitely go Mbappe would be a better player overall because I feel like Mbappe just keeps improving.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of disagree. I hear your points. I do think, but in my personal opinion, I don't think nothing will ever make me view Mbappe as a better footballer or better than Neymar, in my opinion. I
feel like everything that Neymar can do, Mbappe can do.
No chance. I don't think there's anything...
Bro, have you, everyone's going to say, Mbappe was doing it against, French defenders that are farmers.
Well, see, I view them I think they are good defenders. But
I feel like some of this, don't get me wrong, Neymar is insane, one of a kind, but Mbappe, I feel like overall, he could just finish the ball better. He could probably... the only thing I'd probably put Neymar that is better than Mbappe is beating a defender.
Yeah, that's the only thing you reckon he's
passing.
better?
And passing.
Okay, I was going to say...
because Neymar's passing is insane, but I'd say Mbappe is the better finisher, quicker. I feel like more of a... someone... If you... I don't know how to explain it, but as a manager, right now, I know Neymar's bloody struggling in Brazil, can barely play a minute.
Yeah.
But
he's doing well right now, actually.
Yeah. But I just feel like Mbappe's just... He's just... Mate, he has never... I don't think he's ever gone a foot wrong since he's started his career, He's always just been at the top.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like...
Now look at Neymar. How old's Neymar? Early 30s?
33, I think.
Something that's let Neymar down is his injury.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
But... Actually, now I think about it. When I just said before, everything that Neymar can do, Mbappe can do, I would probably disagree with that. So I'm thinking about some of the stuff Neymar's done, like when he flicked it over that defender and scored, that's insane. No one else would be able to do that. So I'd take that back. But I'm going to go with Mbappe. In 5-10 years' time, I reckon the way Mbappe's going, I'd take Mbappe over Neymar.
See, I think Mbappe is overrated. I know this sounds crazy, but I just think that, like, I don't know how to describe it. I've tried to explain this before to people, but I think that Mbappe is, like, I feel like he stat pads in a way. Not like against bad teams, but I just feel like he scores all these stat pads.
Yeah,
as in, like, it means, like, you just, like, score a bunch of goals. Like, you're just scoring for, like, no reason sort of thing. Like, I feel like the thing with Mbappe is he can score 40 goals a season, but I feel like his contribution to the team never is enough compared to, like, you look at what Neymar does for his team. I feel like if you look at what Mbappe, like, the importance of Mbappe to his team, I don't think he'll ever reach that level compared to Neymar for his teams when Neymar's been in different teams. Like, how important Neymar was to that Champions League season for Barcelona winning, how important Neymar was for PSG. For Brazil, he's an all-time top goal scorer. Like,
so do you reckon Mbappe was the issue when PSG had Neymar, Messi?
Yeah, I've said this for a long time because I used to watch, like, and sounds like the biggest Messi glazing ever, but I used to watch full PSG games up, like, those whole 2 seasons because I was so intrigued to see, like, oh, how's this going to work? And everyone always says that Messi flopped at PSG, but bro, it was Mbappe. Like, the amount of, like, times that, like, Messi or Neymar would set him up and he wouldn't score, or, like, he'd be selfish. He'd always try and take the ball, hog the ball, do everything on his own.
Yeah, I've seen clips where Mbappe will hog it, but I feel like if he wanted to show up, he could play tiki-taka with Messi and...
Yeah, he could, but he didn't. That's the thing. Like, I think Mbappe holds himself back. I think there's a version of Mbappe that, even at Real Madrid now, I think there's a version of Mbappe that if he decided to show, he could win the Champions League with Real Madrid, have a really good career, but I think that he's holding himself back, and I think his ego and the sort of way he wants to play, I think he's trying to play a certain way that doesn't suit him as a player. Mbappe, for me, at his best, is when he's running in behind, scoring goals. And I think he's trying to take on too much responsibility. I think he thinks he's, like, the main man, but I feel he's trying to, like, play make and do all this other stuff.
He's like the main man at Real Madrid, you're saying?
Yeah.
Last season, there was always that issue with Vinny and...
Yeah.
And then Jamie Carragher was like, oh, Real Madrid went and got the best player in the world, but they already had him, which was Vinny.
Exactly, yeah.
But I feel like now Mbappe is the main man for Real Madrid. Like, he is. Real Madrid's main man, they would say Mbappe, because Vinny's, like, died down a bit, you could say.
Yeah.
He's starting to get a bit of form now. He's scoring goals.
Yeah.
But, like, Mbappe, I think he's honestly the best player in the world at the moment.
Yeah, I disagree.
Because I feel like Mbappe right now is better than Yamal.
I disagree.
Bro, like...
This is my thing with... It's my problem with Mbappe, right? It's like, I think that people see his goals and, like, see the types of goals he scores. So don't get me wrong, like, some of the goals he scores are amazing. But I just think that, like, people overlook, like, the impact. I think one of the most important aspects for me of making a player the best player in the world and best player for their team is not just, like, the amount of goals they scored, the type of goals they scored, but it's about what do you do for your team? What impact do you have overall on your team? And I think Mbappe negatively impacts Madrid, and I think he negatively impacted PSG. And my biggest case example for it is, I don't think it's a coincidence that the year Mbappe left PSG, they win the Champions League. And the year he joined Real Madrid, they didn't win the Champions League when they won it the year before.
But remember, mate, I know Neymar was in that team, but I can't speak English, eh? Yeah. PSG went to the Champions League final with Mbappe and Neymar.
Yeah.
So
and Neymar was the reason that they went to the, like, got that far. He was,
but remember, there's more than one player on the team, though.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like people put Mbappe on a pedestal that I think he can be the best player in the world. I've never doubted his ability. I think on his day, like, I think he was better when he was younger. At Monaco, first at PSG, the World Cup, the way he used to play. I think now he's taken on a responsibility that doesn't suit him as a player.
Okay.
That's just my personal opinion, but...
Okay, well,
I don't know.
I got to... This is my question. Well, we pretty much already discussed it.
Yeah.
Will Mbappe be one of the greatest players of all time? This is my question.
It's hard because... The one thing that everyone's always going to mention is the World Cup. He's got the World Cup. That's out of the way. Yeah. It's there. Greatest players of all time. What do you define as greatest players of all time? Would you say, like, top 10? Or, like, just generally, like, regarded as, like...
Like, on the same... no one's obviously going to be on the same par as Messi, but, like, you know, like, could be in the conversations with players like Suarez, Cruyff, all those type of players. Rooney, Thierry Henry...
Yeah, I do think he will be. I think I'd be stupid to say he wouldn't be, even if I don't think he is.
And do you think Neymar's already there?
I think Neymar's there.
Yeah, I'd say.
Like, I don't think, even though I personally might not agree with that, I do think that he will overall be regarded as one of the best players of all time. If he keeps going on this track, and if he wins the Champions League, for example.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd say so.
This
What
is
do
a
you
bit of
think?
a side question, mate, because
Yeah.
you were talking before about players that help out their team as much as possible, and you feel like Mbappe doesn't do that as much.
Yeah.
What about players like Haaland?
Yeah.
Or his main attribute is finding the back of the net, but besides that, does he really do anything?
Yeah, but
Mbappe can do so much more than Haaland.
yeah, he can. But see, this is the thing. Like, I think there's a difference in terms of like. See, I don't know if I'm explaining this right, the way I think of it, but like Haaland's role in that team is to do that, and without him, like City would be nowhere. Like he scored almost all their goals this season up until like the last few weeks. A few people chipping in now, but I think like the difference is Haaland understands his role in the team, and he's like without him, City would be like nowhere near where they are right now. Whereas with Mbappe, although he's also scoring the same amount of goals, you could say, I just think that like without Mbappe, Madrid would still be functioning just as well, if not potentially better. I know this sounds like absolutely ridiculous because he scored like obviously 60 goals this year. Everyone's like, oh, if it wasn't for Mbappe goals, they wouldn't even be like in a title race. But I think that if he wasn't there, someone else would have stepped up, and the way they would have played football as a team would have been potentially better than what they're playing as right now. Like, I think it's the same argument I had with Ronaldo towards the end of his career with Juventus, with Man United. Yes, he was scoring 50, 60 goals every year, but I think that the overall team, if he wasn't there, would have played better football.
Playing hospital passes.
Yeah, same thing with like Mbappe. Like, all it seems like right now for Madrid is that... Sorry, go.
I was going to say, I feel like the whole hospital pass situation at PSG, I remember, because I used to always watch the PSG highlights, like they would pass him the ball.
Yeah.
Like he would be like the Messi at Inter Miami.
Yeah.
They would pass Mbappe the ball when he's got bloody 5 players on him.
Yeah.
But at Real Madrid, it's not so much that because they got quality in every position.
Yeah, they do, but I feel like the problem is, and I've seen a lot of Madrid fans finally kind of realise this over the last couple of weeks as they started dropping points. It's like, it seems like almost every Real Madrid game for the last 2 seasons is just pass to Mbappe and hope he does something. Like the way Madrid are kind of playing football right now and why I think they're going to struggle, or they are struggling right now, and I don't think they're going to win trophies this season again.
Just about to say, if Real Madrid win the La Liga, would you like take back everything you just said about Mbappe not being a positive
I would, because
influence?
he contributes to it, but I don't think they will, and I think he's a reason why.
Right, mate, you know I love Barcelona. I'm a Barcelona fan in Spain, but I feel like Real Madrid, they are a team that can definitely win trophies this season.
They can, but I don't think they will. See, that's like they can, but I think they hold themselves back because I think they're a team right now where they're just waiting for individual moments to bail them out. Like a lot of Madrid fans are saying this now as well. It's like it doesn't seem like there's any tactics in the way they play anymore. It just seems like, you know, they just kind of pass the ball around and they're just waiting for Mbappe or Vini to do something. Especially Mbappe, they're kind of just waiting like, all right, let's just keep passing around, keep the ball. Eventually, let's just pray Mbappe goes and scores a goal. Whereas I think that if they didn't have Mbappe, you look at like the season before when they won the Champions League before he joined, like they were such a good functioning unit. Everyone understood their role. Whereas Mbappe is kind of like, I don't know, he's playing a striker, but he doesn't have striker instincts. He's drifting to the left and there's no one in the box. Like, just all these sort of things I just feel like, for me, and he did it at PSG as well, like, I feel like he holds back how good his team could be. And it's not necessarily, maybe he's a victim of his own success, right? Because he's such a good player, everyone relies on him. But
I feel like we just said
really
he doesn't have striker instincts. He pushes over to the left, no one's in the box. But I feel like if you're a Xabi Alonso, I feel like if I was Xabi Alonso, I would let Mbappe do that. I would let him be like, bro, if you want to go play right back for the last 10 minutes, like you do that because you would still do something.
Yeah, he would. But that's the thing. It's like he would do something and he wouldn't let you down. But the team overall, they function worse.
I know that it's not saying that no one's bigger than the team, but I feel like Mbappe is one of the handful of players in the world that can... One man can change.
Yeah, he can.
He can take on 11 players.
Yeah, he can,
would
definitely.
He would score.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think, like, I guess I'm trying to say the conclusion of everything to try and make this make more sense is, I think that if a coach came in and put Mbappe in his place and told him, Mbappe, you're going to stay to the left wing, don't overdo it. Just do what you do best, or stay at striker. Just stay in your role, do what you do best. Yeah, he wouldn't listen, and that's what I think. Like, if he was to listen, he could be even better than he is right now and contribute positively to his team. Like, look at Luis Enrique, right? He was happy to get rid of Mbappe because even he used to say to Mbappe, it's like, you got to track back, you have to do this, you have to do that. Mbappe didn't listen, and then he left, replaced him with players who actually bought into what Enrique was trying to say, and then won the Champions League. Just like moments like that. That's where I'm kind of like, I do understand that like Mbappe individually is really good, but I think he does hold his team back, and I think that if he was to change a few things about the way he plays, I think he could be like, well, he's generational, but I think he could be like a proper all-timer. There's a few things that he sort of tweaks about it, but that's kind of what I think.
Yeah, no, fair enough, mate.
But yeah, I do agree though. I do think he is going to go down as one of the best players of all time. He's won the World Cup. Like, that already puts him
and he
on
was
a level.
the main man for France.
Yeah.
No. What do you got next, mate?
Yeah, next one I've got is, that's a very interesting one. Ronaldo should not start for Portugal at the World Cup next year.
Fuck. That is interesting.
What do you think?
I don't know, because that is very tough. But who would you start over him?
That's a good question. Honestly, I haven't looked at
With Gonzalo Ramos, like you'd think would be one of the.
he's all right. He's pretty average. I don't know. I mean, you could even you could put Leao at striker.
Yeah, Rafael Leao.
I think I don't know,
or Joao Felix maybe.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, okay, I feel like you do start Ronaldo.
You start Ronaldo,
honestly.
you reckon? Yeah.
But I feel like the manager needs to. Because obviously I feel like Ronaldo, like I'm the main man for Portugal. Yeah. You know, but even though it's not his dream to win the World Cup, so he doesn't care.
True.
But I feel like Roberto Martinez needs to be like to Ronaldo, like you're starting, but just kind of like take a step back.
Yeah.
Like let players like Bruno get involved, Bernardo Silva, bloody Rafael Leao, let them do their thing.
Exactly.
Not always want the hospital passes, because you see Ronaldo wants those bloody hospital passes.
Yeah.
And he wants to be that guy that wins the bloody game in the 90th minute.
Yeah.
But let someone else like have a dig, you know.
Exactly.
Let someone else bloody run at defenders. I feel like he feels like the pressure's on his shoulders. Yeah. And if he takes a step back a bit and lets everything flow naturally.
Yeah.
I feel like it would help Portugal more. So I would say start him, but he's just got to take a step back.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that like he might put too much, responsibility on his shoulders. I think personally, like depending on the option you have, I would not start Ronaldo, and I'd have him as someone to come on at the end of games, potentially like half time, 50th minute, 60th minute, to try and have that impact. Because I think they might be better off having fresher legs, someone younger to start the game and kind of have that intensity, and then to bring Ronaldo on, his goal scoring instincts, and obviously it's Ronaldo. Like he's gonna contribute positively in that sense. But I don't think Portugal will go far in the World Cup if they're having Ronaldo play 90 minutes to start every game. Because I just think that even if he doesn't want to have that responsibility on his shoulders, no matter what, all the players around him are going to always just try to find Ronaldo. And I think that can kind of same thing as I was saying before with Mbappe and his time and Ronaldo's time at Juventus. I feel like they might change the way they play because Ronaldo's there.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't start him, have someone else there, they can sort of understand how to play without Ronaldo, find a good system, actually play their best football, and then you add Ronaldo to it, which is already a good thing.
Do you know what I think would be a good manager for Portugal? Like Thomas Tuchel. Like we're talking about how he doesn't accommodate players like Bellingham. If you're playing shit, you're not in the team.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I feel like Tuchel would be perfect manager for Portugal.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But I would say start Ronaldo.
Yeah, fair enough. I'd say bring him on, but I do hear it. But I just don't think that they should have him playing 90 minutes every game, which I feel like Ronaldo might want. It'd be interesting to see.
That's he needs to take a step back and be like, okay, this is the coach's decision.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'll play bloody 70 minutes and I'll let Joao Felix come on.
Yeah, true. Also, speaking of that too, how good is Portugal's midfield? I reckon they might have one of the best midfielders in the whole tournament.
João Neves.
And Bruno.
Then
Bernardo
Silva, Paulinho.
Yeah, true. They got a really good midfield. So, yeah.
This is my final question, mate.
Yep, sweet.
Who is the biggest club in London?
Oh, the biggest club in London. I think it's Brentford. No. Obviously, it's between Chelsea and Arsenal.
Yeah.
It is Arsenal. Realistically, it's Arsenal. Although some could argue that Chelsea have...
Champions League. But Arsenal have got more trophies, mate.
They do, yeah. I think it is Arsenal. If you go back, obviously, Abramovich, Chelsea weren't as big of a football club as Arsenal were. They only sort of really found their their big success in the modern era, like post 2000.
Yeah.
Whereas like Arsenal have been ever present
Yeah.
in like the not like 20th century and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So I
they
think it is
Arsenal have been around for a long time, won a lot of trophies.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with I was watching this YouTube video the other day. They were talking about it was when Chelsea and Arsenal verse, and
Yeah.
people trying to argue that like Tottenham were the biggest.
Yeah.
No, dickhead.
Yeah, actually, I mean,
like honestly, like obviously I don't like Tottenham, but Chelsea and Arsenal are definitely the biggest clubs in London.
yeah,
And
definitely.
then people were trying to argue, is West Ham bigger than Tottenham? I don't know.
Yeah, they have a pretty big following.
Yeah, West Ham, they're massive, but easily the biggest two clubs are Chelsea and Arsenal. I would go Arsenal.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Because I feel like Arsenal's fan base also. Arsenal got fans all over the world. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
then
exactly,
like you go back to like the early 2000s, like you get those people that don't really know football, but people are like, oh, yeah, I know Thierry Henry.
Exactly,
Oh,
yeah.
I
that's the
know,
thing, yeah.
I've heard of Dennis Bergkamp, players like that.
Yeah.
But then you get people that don't really know football, and they'll be like, oh, I'm not sure who Lampard is.
Yeah,
Like,
true, exactly. Yeah.
You know, Arsenal got bigger names, you could say, in history.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So I'd go. But obviously, if you've got people that watch football like us, we know all the big Chelsea players. But if you just get that random Joe Blow down the street, he's not going to know who Buddy Drogba is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you could even argue some people, like Americans, for example, they might have heard of Arsenal but not heard of Chelsea. There's also that possibility.
Yeah,
like, I feel like
that's
Arsenal is just a
exactly
bigger name overall as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like we whole Tottenham Hotspur thing as well. I do think maybe back in like the 20th century, you could argue they were one of the, like a bit bigger than they are now because they had a lot of success in like 50s, 60s, 70s, that sort of thing. I think like if you're looking at it right now, you have to say Arsenal.
Yeah,
Definitely
like,
the biggest club.
Fucking, so I don't even think about the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like whatever.
Who gives a shit about that these days, eh?
Yeah.
But yeah, nah, that's fair. And is your last question now?
Oh no, that was my. I already got my 5. Wait, let me double check. Yeah, I got my 5 already.
Well, mate,
Sweet.
I'll give you a little bonus one.
Yeah.
Are you ready? I thought about this the other day. We haven't discussed this. Who's better, Messi or Ronaldo?
Shane Reese.
No, I'll go. Let me give you one more quick fire rapid question, mate.
Yeah.
If you could choose one player in the Premier League, in Premier League history, to play for Barcelona, who would it be, mate?
Or like rapid fire, just answer straight away.
Yeah, answer, quick explanation why, and just the player.
Oh god, this is hard. They have obviously hasn't played for Barcelona.
Yeah, like so. If you think of Thierry Henry,
Yeah, I can't say that because he's already like. I'm gonna go for Harry Kane
Oh yeah.
because I think hopefully we can get him next season.
You'd take
I would
him?
take Harry Kane. I think he'll.
Because you reckon Lewandowski's what towards the end?
Yeah, I reckon
couple
he's
seasons.
Yeah, I reckon he's done now. Yeah. I would say Harry Kane because I think he can guarantee. I think like Harry Kane's a complete striker who would fit the Barcelona DNA in that sense. I guess that'd be my answer.
You wouldn't take Ronaldo?
I wouldn't take Ronaldo. Actually, you know who I'd take, actually? Going back to that. I would take Gareth Bale. I love Gareth Bale. I love Bale. I reckon he's one of my favourite players of all time, even though he's played for Real Madrid. I reckon he'd be an absolute monster.
But then, mate, he's on the right wing, and where does Messi go?
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Hey, how about you? If you could take one La Liga player to play for Arsenal, who'd you take?
Yeah, bloody...
Wait, other than Messi, Ronaldo. That's like the obvious
No, I was
answer.
going to say Malcolm, so... Fuck. I feel like I'd probably go Suarez, eh?
Suarez? Yeah.
Or I was thinking Benzema because
yeah.
Arsenal lacked that striker, you could say, like the last 10 years. But yeah, I'd probably go Suarez.
Yeah.
That's
a good shout,
fucking Neymar. Oh god, that's tough. I was thinking Iniesta also.
Oh, yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah. Damn.
That is very tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like even though Neymar was quality, I feel like for some reason I just don't feel like he would work at Arsenal.
Okay.
Because these game style, Arsenal like that. That quick bloody over like Arsenal known for tiki-taka football,
Exactly,
around the Arsene Wenger era.
Yeah.
And then Neymar can play that kind of style, but Neymar likes to run the ball and take on defenders.
Yeah.
And I feel like Arsene Wenger, if he coached Neymar like bloody 10 years ago, Wenger would be like,
Exactly,
what are
yeah.
you doing, bro? Like,
Yeah.
do you know you
Yeah,
play
no,
for
you mean.
Arsenal?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But no, I'd probably go Suarez because Suarez knows how to find the net, and
Yeah.
Arsenal have liked that in recent years.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah,
Cool. Sounds good. Beauty.
yeah. No, we'll wrap that up here, eh?
Yeah.
Now, cheers for watching, everyone. We've got another video coming out soon, and yeah, I'm sure the next one will be quite interesting. Discuss the Socceroos World Cup group stage, and yeah, and all the other teams that have been drawn.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, guys. Take
Peace.
care.
See ya.